I was asked to come in and fill some dead air. we're we're still working things over, but we're getting there. Slowly but surely. So I was told to hop in and see if I could occupy some space. What's kind of cool tonight, we're going to try a couple of things. If it works, and I'm not going to swear that any of this is going to work. This is our first kind of foray. This is really, one of the things that TLG has been meaning to do for a long time is get online and start running some games. But as with anybody, you, me, everybody, the litany of things that you need to get done keep you from doing new things, different things, or taking a different path. So you really have to, really do something extraordinary to light a fire under your ass and make you go do something. And that's what this is. Tim set this up as I think giveaways in some of the chairs at the table, as in some of the AMAs and GMTTs. And I gave him the green light to make us actually get online and do this online streaming bit. And so we're all set. We got players. They've got characters. I've got the nascent idea of an adventure in my mind. But yeah, Bifford, I got to adjust to it. But then the technical, as it always happens with Troll Lord games, the technical steps in and assists us with its, magic or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Magic 3-6. I don't know. I don't know what anything means, but I remember once Jason Alexander worked for us, and he did all of our computers, made sure everything was up and running and cooking and all of that stuff. And I remember I can't remember what was wrong. It was doing something. Something was wrong with my computer. And so I called him, and Jason came in, and he had a day job. He did this for us. And the goodness of his wonderful heart. And he came in to look at the computer, and he was doing his thing and working it over. And I was standing over him, and he kept saying, this shouldn't be doing this. This shouldn't be working. This shouldn't be doing like this. I'm not sure what's going on. And then he looked at me, and he goes, Steve, why don't you just step back a little bit? So I stepped back. And within a couple of minutes, it was working. So I'm pretty sure some kind of aura that I have is impacting the technology around us. It hit me the other day that I was thinking about the Amish. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the Amish don't use buttons. And I call this the Amish Factor. So at some point in the 1870s or 1880s, I'm not sure when their cutoff is, a member of the Amish community saw the button, and he said, I got toggles. I don't need a button. This is too much. You've gone too far with your technology. I'm out. And he started his own community, and that's wonderful, and that's great. Well, I think that I think I've hit my button. I think the button complex is settled in, the button factor, and I'm there. But we shall persevere. Steve, I was skimming through the Codex Slavorum. This is perfect. It's really great. Got me thinking about buying the rest of the series. It's a very good series. Brian Young did a wonderful job diving into that, and that one in particular, the Slavorum. There's nothing else like that on the market. There's an entire. We always think Germanic and Norse and whatever, French, whatever, Latin, Greek. I can't think of any Greek gods. Artemis, whoever, all of these people, but the Slavic people are gigantic, right? It's from what? I mean, they were all the way up into central Germany at one point, and the Slavic tribes were fighting Otto the first, second, and third back in the 10th century. So they were only slowly driven back into the regions where we know them now: Poland, Lithuania, Estonia, and Latvia, and Croatia. No, wait, are the Croats Slavs? I can't remember. Anyways, Russia, the Ukraine, Belarus, blah blah blah. Slavs everywhere. So the Slavic mythology is gigantic. It's diverse. It's just as amazing, all these other ones, but it's never treated in the West very much. So you're right, clever. That's spot on. And so it's got the Slavic stuff was really cool. When I can't remember. I think I was asking him to do the Germanic, and he said, "No, I really want to get into the Slavic," and he did. So and it's just a fantastic book. Super excited about it. KFC, yeah. There won't be any KFC tonight. It'll be closed by the time I'm done gaming. So one of these days. Yeah, last time I went to KFC, they only took cash. I'm not sure what was going on, so I didn't get any KFC. I went away. I did go to Popeyes. I tried the Popeyes thing. It was not to my liking. That's what we'll say. Yeah, we will leave it there. Yeah, the Hungarians, Magyars are not Slavic. That I know. But I don't know. So you've got Croats, Slovenians, Slovakians, the Czechs. I know the Czechs and Slovakians are Slavic. And I'm pretty sure the Croats are Slavic too, but I'm not sure. I always wanted to go to Croatia. The Croats stayed largely very loyal to the Habsburg monarchy in the 1900s, and I appreciate that. Being a Habsburg fan, so I appreciate their loyalty to the crown. You know, the Hungarians, the Magyars come from the Central Steppes, right? They're still Huns, I think. Well, Magyars, but I think they come from the Central. Of course, everybody comes from the Central Steppes. The whole Aryan peoples come from north of, and not Aryan in the Germanic Nazi sense, but Huns. There you go. It came from. Is it the north of the Caspian? Man, it's been a long time since I've read this stuff. Going to Croatia next year, hopefully. Very cool, Big Danger. Send us some pictures. That's awesome. I need to do a Finnish. Yes, Finnish mythology would be very cool too. Yeah, the Finns are just awesome. Tim's been to Finland. He loved it out there. But yeah, Croatia, it's a country that's always fascinated me. I have absolutely no idea why. But I like saying it, Croats. It's just cool. All right. Woo. I'll ask Chuck where we are as we creep forward. We're going to get there. We'll get this down to a science. It takes the trolls a little while to get on deck, but we do. You have to start before you finish. Well, now we did start, Bifford, so we can maybe what Bifford is saying, that the Finnish gods should be the last of the mythos when we're done with the series. That's almost too good to pass up. That's going to be the last book we do in the series. The Finnish, absolutely. Oh, my Lord God. So his system re-updated, and he's at 25%. Good heavens. Whew. Well, I wish I could offer him a solution, but I cannot offer him a solution because I have none. So, so we're going to use, I'm not sure, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give too much away, but one of my, a heavy bow is going to be part of tonight's game. We'll see. And it's going to be a little graphic, I think, so hopefully that's allowed on Twitch. I don't know what goes on Twitch. I watch occasionally. I'll come in here and watch a couple of shows. Some of them are pretty cool. Some of the blogs or vlogs or whatever they're calling them. Shit, what is wrong with me? My nap time. That's part of the problem too, because when 5 o'clock gets here, my body's like, it's time for a 30-minute nap. I usually clock in about 7 in the morning or something like that and work throughout, and then do it about 30 minutes, 20 minutes before my wife gets home, and then we do cook dinner and all that crap. But so this stream's right in the middle of my nap time. I just go to sleep. I don't need to be doing that. I'll just fall over and pass out and wake up. It was an interesting morning this morning because I had a court date. I got a speeding ticket, pretty hefty speeding ticket, a couple weeks ago, and my stuff was all messed up. I had my daughter's registration in the glove box and her tags on the license plate. I have no idea how I did that, and I thought I had updated insurance, but I didn't. So I didn't have that. I didn't have insurance. I didn't have registration, and the speeding ticket on top of that. So the police officer, who was laughing the whole time, he thought it was rather funny. He told me to just come to court and they would waive the registration and the insurance if I got all that fixed. Because it's really a small thing, obviously. And so I got up. It's a 45-minute drive. Court's at 8. I wanted to be there early so that I could talk to the deputy because he said he'd be the one that waived it. And so I got up at 6 this morning and hit the road and got over there. Got in there and sat for a little bit, and it was a little bit past 8 8:15, 8:20 by the time I got a hold of the deputy and asked him, said, you mentioned when you gave me the ticket that you could waive this, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, yeah, we can work that out. So he called in the clerk, and the clerk's standing there, and the judge hadn't showed up, and I'm standing there, and they're all super nice and super friendly, and so they waived those because I showed them the paperwork. And I said, well, because I know sometimes if you go before the judge will just forgive the ticket, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, deputy, should I stay for the judge and see about the ticket? And he goes, the ticket? The ticket was doing 21 over the speed limit, which is reckless driving. He goes, the ticket? And he had his mask on, of course, and I could only see the top part of his head. And his expression was pretty funny. And so I started laughing. I said, yeah, the ticket. I had my mask on too, but he could tell I was laughing. And then he said, well, I can't say yes or no as to what the judge would say. And then he started laughing, and I said, I'll just pay the ticket. So I'm going to stand there for another hour and a half waiting for the judge to tell me to go pay the ticket. So I left the court and paid the ticket and moved on. But it's just been one of those. It's been one of those days that is a little bit more involved than I want it to be. The Iron Druid looks actually have some nice mentions of finished myth. I'm marching barbarians to the steps right now in the great courses again, and was just reeling with the Magyars. Magyars are very cool people, very warlike, but they messed up the Habsburg Empire. What was the outcome of the CK screens? So the CK screens, it's a no-go. I got to talk to her some more. Vicky is a rep down there at Hortons, and I got to talk to her some more. So the fear is, and I'll experiment with this very soon. I don't have a soft cover here. So if we do this so the idea was to do our screens, on the regular card stock, and then send them to UV, to have the sticky bag, the paper, covered in UV coating. And then we've got protection from liquids, and we've still got the heavy card stock, and everything's a go. The problem is the screens are going to be open and closed a lot. And UV coating does well. Ironically, this one's not UV coated. It's probably why it's in my office. About every 1 in 100 covers don't get coated, and we just pull them. But, so I'm afraid what you're going to see on these screens here where they fold is some cracking. So I'm going to have to get one. I'm going to have to make it, and then just sit here and accordion it for like an hour or something to make sure that it actually works. I should be able to affect that late next week. We'll see. Otherwise, I'm thinking of running its own Kickstarter on the screens and going that route on it, because we got to have the screens back in house. It's just we just absolutely have to. It is a go. If we can get it a go, we'll put it as an add-on on the Kickstarter for sure. Long road trips with the trolls are always in. Yeah, Peter, you've been on a few of those. The Magyars allied with the Rus, and because of their diverting the northern trade routes, Constantinople sided with their alliance and collectively cut out the Khazars, which cost them so dearly in trade they fragmented and collapsed. Very interesting. Yeah, the Magyars are very, it's like the Romanians. The Romanians are very Latin. It's a very different group there in the center of South Central Europe. And the Magyars are very much that so. So the troll team is coming kind of unwound. Hold on, I got to answer Tim's question. Okay, yeah. So we're still struggling with this. Last I checked, Chuck said it was at 25%. Now I think these machines jump right. They don't go 25, 26. It's certainly going to go to like 71 or some craziness. But the problem is I'm beginning to lose the visuals in my head. They're beginning to seep out of my ear canal or something. And the visuals I was going to start with are beginning to get diverted into court dates and what have you. At any rate, yeah. So Magyars, the Magyars court, very nice deputy. He was laughing when he gave me the ticket because it was one I have no idea. Somehow, and I didn't even think you could do this. Somehow I ended up with 2 registrations, one for the same car. Same dates. I have no idea. I think I vaguely remember getting the same time, so I just went out and put them on my daughter's car, and then went out and put it on my truck. I think that I looked at hers and just assumed the other one was mine because I thought I had registered it. I don't know what I did. I did something stupid. I didn't do it correctly, clearly, or I wouldn't have gotten a ticket for it. It was kind of funny. But what can you do? So, in other news, as we fill dead air here, we're going to begin with a little twist on something I like to do. There will be a wagon involved, a bird, some arrows, and a little bit of torture. And we'll get the party started once Chuck works through his slowly updating computer. I'm getting an update from him. I like that face there. Getting Kothar. Yeah. Yes, Mark, this is part of the torture. At least we got the widescreen thing going, right? So I guess that's good. He was trying to set up another machine. I'm not sure what he's doing. It almost feels as if we should postpone this just a little bit. We've been in a very happy way. Ecstatically happy, extremely busy around here. I love being busy. I love working hard. I love, all of these things. Troll Lording It is a lot of fun, but it's a lot of it's a lot of crazy work. People would be a little bit surprised, I think, if they learned how much hours actually go into all of this stuff, and trying to branch out from something, especially for someone like me. We do books, books, very solid books, and into the digital world is quite different. For those of you new to the channel, some of you others have heard this, and I won't give the whole skinny, but back in 2006 or 5 or something, when RPG Now, which was an online site that has since been bought by DriveThruRPG, which is part of the overall company, One Bookshelf OBS, when RPG Now, which was the first PDF vendor out there, that independently got other publishers to, that hosted other publishers' work and sold the PDFs. When James came to me and we were at the show out in GTS, wherever the hell it is, Vegas. We were at the show in Las Vegas, and James came and he pitched this idea with me. He said there's PDFs, this digital stuff, and I knew what a PDF was. That's what we sent to the printers, of course. And I was like, James, that's not what Troll Lord's not interested in that. There's gamers are not going to shift to a digital format and start. It's one thing to be playing a video game, but gamers aren't going to use PDFs. Blah blah blah. And about 2 years later, maybe it might have been the next GTS, but I think it was 2 years later. James came by the booth again and said, "Hey, still love to have Troll Lord in on RPG Now. We'd like to get your books in there." And I was like, "Yes, we would very much like to be a part of that." So my ability to anticipate what technology can do is, lacking is the word you're looking for. So, surprised the game has already begun. Wait, I'm not there. What happened? There you go. Last Tulsa group I ran games with, they were easy to come up with adventures for and give them a little bit. That's how my group is now. I don't have to do much. Yeah, we've been playing for like 40 minutes. Haven't y'all noticed? Thank you for sending out Engineering Dungeons for me today. It was very kind of you to be so generous to all the Autumn Revel attendees. Oh, no problem, Mark. It's great. We love supporting Gary Con. Glad you are enjoying it. We love Gary Con. Luke's a great guy. Luke calls. We'll do anything he asks. It's just good people. Obviously, we have a long history. Luke and I do. I like having them both as an option. Prefer hard copy. That's the thing. I prefer hard copy by a long stretch, but PDFs are nice to do word searches. Very, very nice. It's trying to find. So the Codex of Aird. The game will be taking place in Aird tonight, and that's this 250,000 word book I wrote that's got all of the Airdian everything in it. The history, the mythologies, the cosmologies, the peoples, the language, all that stuff. But when I want to find one thing, it's very difficult because I can't remember where it is, and I'm sitting there, flipping. So I'll go to the PDF, do a word search, and within a minute or two, I've got it. So, PDFs certainly, and they're getting better. Obviously with the bookmarks, you can hop around, and we're working on getting our bookmarks up and going, so that's good. Randy, I'm assuming you're laughing about my ability to anticipate technology. Troll 2 LG Troll is not a code for a discount on the TLG store website. How do you get a free player's handbook? Hold on. I will get you that link, 3 Orcs. It's in our store. But I keep burying it. It's my fault. It keeps getting put on the featured product page, and I keep knocking it off when I put other products on the featured product page because I forget that we are offering it free for download. There we go. So this, if you do not have it, that is the Player's Handbook download right there. As if you had a better index and we wouldn't need... Yeah, it needs an index. We're working on it. Oh, wait. Could you share your favorite Gary story? Oh, yeah. So, this is by far my... I've got a lot of funny Gary stories, and Gary's just a great guy. He was fantastic to work with, very professional, and he could be business and friend in the same kind of, on the drop of a dime, and it was awesome. Just a lovely man to work with. He had quite a temper and could lose it, and that's fine. That's the way life is. And when you're dealing with lots of, intellectual and emotional property, it's a good thing. But I remember we were at, after Gen Con moved to wherever it went, Indianapolis, there was a little show started up in Milwaukee called Game Fest. They did 2 of them, Game Fest 1 and Game Fest 2. They may have done more. I went to 2. I shouldn't say that. They may still be doing it. I don't have any idea. But I went to 2 of them. Gary went because that's, Milwaukee's right next to Lake Geneva. It's a 45-minute drive over. So Gary was a guest, and we went up. We were his publishers, blah, blah, blah. So Peter Bradley was at this one, I think. I'm pretty sure. He may have driven with us. I can't remember. Davis was there. But running the booth, down at the end of the aisle, Gary sets up this round table, and they're running games, and there's like 7 or 8 people there. And this is Gary Gygax. This is the guy who co-created Dungeons & Dragons, master game master. I mean, he's just designer through the writer, author, all of these things. And I'd known him for 3 years, and Gary and I talked most days via email. He didn't like the phone, nor do I. But I was leaving the booth, and I was walking by the table, and they're casting he's casting a spell on one of the characters, and everyone's kind of sitting forward, waiting to see what. And Gary goes, "Boogity, boogity, boogity, boo." He cast magic missile on you. It was so out of whatever, that the tense moment of the spell or whatever. I completely lost it laughing. It was so funny. The whole table busted out laughing. It was just absolutely beyond. It was beyond hysterical. He was that way. He was a funny guy. I remember once he liked to drink, and so did my brother at the time. And I partook. Never been a heavy drinker, but I drink. And Gary's favorite drink was a Serbian. I'm going to mess this up. So anyone from Serbia or the Balkans, I apologize. 𝚃𝚘𝚕𝚕, I think is what it's called, and it's a type of liquor that comes from Serbia. He loved Gary. That was his favorite. Whiskey? Liqueur? I have no idea. I don't know anything about any of that stuff. Anyways, we had bought him a bottle when we came up, and we all drank a round of shots, whatever we're talking, and we're headed to dinner. And we did one more shot before we were going to go, and Davis was sitting next to me, and Gary next to Davis, and I was sitting, whatever. And that 𝚃𝚘𝚕𝚕, it went down. It was hard. And I used to drink Evan Williams. That was my drink of choice in the Army. It was tough drinking it. And I was just kind of eyeballing it. I was eyeballing that shot. Not wanting to take, but everyone was ready to go to dinner. And Gary was he was just staring at me with that look of patience, but not an unending patience that it's time to go to dinner. We need to eat and finish your drink. Davis had done his, and he had done his. And I was just jabbering, trying to gear up for the burning. You had whatever. If you've had whiskey or whatever, or plum brandy, I guess, is that what it is? 𝚃𝚘𝚘𝚕𝚔, whatever. It was so someone thankfully made a noise on the other side of the porch, and Gary, he looked away. Now Davis is my brother. He's co-founded Troll Lord Games with me and Matt Golden, author of Castle and Sage. We still work. I'm going tomorrow. I'm heading up to his hacienda to sit, and we're going to work over a bunch of projects. So Davis and I have grown up together, very close, all of that. Davis knew what I was doing the whole time, and he could drink heavier than me. So when Gary looked away, Davis grabbed that shot, downed it, put it down, and sat there. And Gary looked back, and of course I'd finished the shot. And but I don't think there was any successful sleight of hand going on. I think that Gary knew what had happened, and he immediately said, "Let's go to dinner," and off we went to dinner. And we had a lovely dinner, God knows where, somewhere in Lake Geneva. But it was really funny. Okay, so it looks like we might be dead in the water for the game. I absolutely hate this. We got something going on. We could game in this stream. I'm not sure if that's going to work. Let me in the streaming P. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Well, I wonder if I can host this. Maybe. Chuck is getting very frustrated, and understandably so. This is. So, for those of you new to the channel, I'm 𝚃𝚘𝚘𝚕𝚔, CEO, General Manager of Troll Lord Games. We publish Castles and Crusades, World of Ered and Zaya, some 5th edition, all kinds of stuff. We've been doing streaming for about a year, I don't know, 8 months, 6 months, but only regularly for about 6 months. And we're still working some kinks out. Chuck produces, manages, whatever. He does this. I don't do any of this. He just tells me what to do, and I go do it because I don't know what I'm doing. And he had a good plan. He has a very good plan, all set up. And he told me early this morning, I need to work with you to get this out. And I said, that's fine. We'll do it later this afternoon. I got to gag some more. And then I ended up at the print shop. So I got to him at like 3 minutes before the stream was supposed to begin. So this is all on me. I messed this up 8 ways of Sunday. I assumed we were doing it on Discord. We're not. Apparently Discord won't carry over to Twitch. I have no idea. So we're going to do it on Skype, and Skype does carry over to Twitch. So let me see if I can't. I hate to cancel it because we have to bump it to next week. All right, let me. What am I doing here? I use Skype every day, so if I can get Skype up on the thingamabob here, then maybe. I don't think Chuck's gonna believe I can get Skype doing anything. We can do a Zoom, but I don't know how to do it. I don't think you gotta have codes. I don't have the app downloaded. When I do Zoom meetings at GaryCon or Autumn Revel, I just join their stream. I don't download anything. Okay, we may try to do this. So how would you? What is the? Yeah, it started updating, Willie, and it's at 26%. It's just not updating fast. It's just one of those things. It's a troll lord world. One of these days, I'm going to write a book about all of the issues that have happened from 1999 when we found it, in 2000 when we released to this day. Okay, wait a minute. Something's happening. He said I can have everything ready to go. I don't know what that means. You don't have the overlay. That's the main problem. Well, send me the overlay. I can slap that up there. Okay, wait a minute. He said something. Okay. It's great. I see, Tim. Then I'd have to adjust all those cameras to make it fit into the overlay so everybody can see everybody. Grievously grunted. Says working the kinks out. This is all still sounds pretty kinky. Yeah, what kind of channel are we running over here? This is great. All right, Bifford. Well, sorry you didn't get to see any of the game. Hopefully it'll go from there. Okay, so he's trying something. So we might be live here pretty. Yes, troll engineering, exactly. We still haven't got out from underneath the bridge. I'm reading his comments over here as that's why I'm looking away, trying to figure out if I need to do anything. But my visuals are gone. I got to get my visuals back. I had some good visuals in my head. This is great. Poor Chuck. He really wants these things to work correctly too, and I work really hard to work against him. Not intentionally, but in my defense, there's so much work to be done around here, and 2 projects now, back to back, have gotten horribly delayed because of, well, it doesn't matter. They got horribly delayed, things that were beyond my control or anyone's control, and the one pushed everything back about 5 weeks, and the second one pushed us back another 4 weeks. So now we're 2 months behind. Throw on top of that a little bit of gasoline, the player's handbook going out of print, and we got a perfect storm of crap that makes us want to stay under the bridge. So getting new technology up is on the list of priorities is down there. Our main priority is to get Kickstarter backers the material that they have backed faster, and that's kind of what we always deliver, but we always deliver late, and that's what I would like to stop. All right, Chuck, fire. What you got? Uh-oh. Now Dr. Pepper's getting hot. That ain't right. That ain't right. I don't know where he went. He's off and about somewhere. That's what we'll do. So I'm bleeding out a little bit from the upcoming Gods and Monsters. And this is a book that we've been working on for far too long, and I think we're done. That's one of the things I got to go up into the mountains and talk to Davis about. Make sure we finish all the Pantheons on there. There might have been a couple that he did that I haven't approved or that I wanted him to do, so we got to get our lists lined up. Make sure that happens. If it is, it's just 1 or 2 to get that book done. And Zoe is hammering away on the art of Gods and Monsters, so we will get that. We'll get the whole thing. So we'll introduce a little bit of that tonight. With the gnolls, not the gnomes. Very interesting. Alright. I've lost Chuck. I'm guessing he's rebooting something. Hopefully it's a good reboot. Wait. Something happened. Nope, nothing happened. I did something. I'm going to stop touching things before I break something on my end and the whole thing just goes to hell. We just got to call it. We persevere. We trolls. We don't like to quit mid-stride. Beneath the Stone Sky. We got Babith. Exactly, Bofford. We'll get there. Athelstan Hawk. It's all good. Technology likes to subscribe to more. Yes, it does, especially on our end. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is sometimes. Like I said at the beginning of the stream earlier today, sometimes you eat the bear and sometimes the bear eats you. It's just the way it is. What can you do? I know Chuck is very frustrated. I feel for him. I get there myself sometimes, but sometimes stuff just gets out of, nothing to do about it. Just move on. The more people watching the tech, the quirkier it gets. The whole thing's just crashing down. Remember, Steve, if there aren't issues, you aren't streaming. Yeah, there you go. Hopefully one of these days. I don't know, too, and it's very interesting. I try to watch some of them, and I don't know. It's interesting to see the different approaches. Some have a whole lot of stuff that you can see. Some don't. I don't know. It's a very different world. Right along with Tim. Alright, I'm going to step away for about a minute. I will be back, and hopefully we're all live. Okay, so I need to stop the stream now, and then I think we're going to be good. All right. Stopping now, and we'll see. Hopefully we'll be back in just a minute. So everyone hang tight for just a few more minutes.